Hi world, I'm Hannah Stein.
And I'm Jenna Gould.
Welcome to BFN News.
This week we're covering 1750 to 1900. Let's get started.
Many years ago, we heard of Matthew Perry's attempt to westernize Japan. Nothing came of it and he left.
In fact, we have some old photos of this very event. A year later, the same tactic was tried for largely and peaceful negotiations.
We all thought that would be the last we heard of it, but in some recently released footage, we see some rebels breaking into the shogun's capital, Tokyo, also called Edo.
Very stealthily.
Very stealthily, yes.
The shogunate!
We've heard that this revolt is called the Meiji Restoration, and it's due to the civilians' desire to westernize.
So far, the revolution has managed to put the emperor back on the throne, and Japan has started to modernize.
We've seen this clearly through imperialism on Japan's part, spreading through the Pacific Ocean.
Further west on the globe, Western Europe is experiencing an industrial revolution that was rumored to have started in Britain.
Due to this shift to factories, the government has enforced the Enclosure Act, which has brought great change to the demography of Europe, shifting the society in a more urbanized direction.
Never fear though, because Western Europe has many things that have stayed the same. Here in the Berlin Conference, which, surprise, is in Berlin, various countries are discussing rising imperialism and the same thing we've seen for a while in this part of the hemisphere. Conquest.
Unlimited power. Here's some exclusive footage of the event.
Je veux tout de l'Afrique!
What?
I want it all!
No, I want the Congo. Just the Congo for me, please. My Baba. My Baba.
Fine, you can get the Congo. For the British, I want Egypt, Sudan, and South Africa, okay?
Yo quiero Morocco!
A new ideology called social Darwinism, inspired by Charles Darwin's observations, has cropped up as well, which is a claim that the survival of the fittest applies to humans too.
Shifting to the west even more, there's a lot going on in the Americas. It appears that the colonists aren't quite sure where their loyalties lie, to the king or to themselves. This can be answered by the recent news of the Boston Tea Party, which isn't as peaceful as it sounds. Yes, it was in Boston, but no, people were not sitting around daintily sipping tea.
Girl, I have some tea for you.
Instead of this blissful peace, witnesses have recorded angry Englishmen hurling tea from England into the sea. This form of rebellion is a part of the American Revolution, which will ultimately end in the demise of the British at the Battle of Yorktown.
While North America has changed dramatically because of its independence from the Eastern Hemisphere, mistreatment of the natives still continues, as seen in the Trail of Tears.
Our next area of interest is Sub-Saharan Africa, which is being covered right now by Ari Prumpipop, who is talking to King Leopold.
Many have questioned King Leopold's claims, and the amputation photography that we have received only heightens our disbelief.
Can you tell us what's going on in Congo, Ari?
King Leopold of Belgium has come to Congo promising new peace and prosperity. So, King Leopold, what is your purpose for being here?
Ever since rubber was created by my good man, Charles Goodyear, it's been a key investment. I'm hoping to get some rubber, maybe ivory from the Congo Basin, while also keeping the traditions of the native people, yes.
It seems you have a big task ahead of you. How do you plan on getting these resources?
I have many sources and, helping hands.
Oh, could you elaborate on that?
To make my palm oil, I simply motivate my workers by...
Okay, that brings us to our next sponsor, palm oil.
Yeah! Man, I could really use some whale oil right now.
I'll do you one better. I got myself palm oil.
Palm oil?
Yes, fresh from the Congo, this is an excellent lubricant for machines.
What? Let me try some of that. Golly gee, this is a miracle worker.
Told you so. Get palm oil today so you can say I told you so to the unfortunate souls using whale oil. Call 1-800-HLP-CNGO with any questions.
And now to Sienna with our economic update.
Hi, I'm Sienna with the Economic Update. Today we have new global exports inspired by industrialization. Some of the main new products are rubber in the Congo and diamonds in Cape Cod, as well as guano in Chile and other South American states. And we also have increased metal production across the world. All of this contributing to the new factory system that is a growing part of industrialization.
China has experienced many changes over time, but the most recent is that they're starting to import more products from Europe and have created an open door policy, which lets foreigners trade past the city of Canton.
Using this, China continues to support a large export economy, but events like the Opium Wars, the Sepoy Rebellion, and the Boxer Rebellion, which was encouraged by Empress Sisi, have weakened China's core. However, America is seen embracing modernization, while China still holds on to their isolation by promoting anti-modernization and anti-westernization.
Over in China, we have Natalie Tukalski, who is exploring the aftermath of the Boxer Rebellion. Hey, Natalie!
Hi, I'm Natalie Tukalski, and today we're reporting live here in China on the most recent rebellion, the Boxer Rebellion. And with us here today, the leader, Empress Sisi. What do you have to say about it?
What do I have to say? Europeans coming into my lands, not happening. These barbarians need to back off. China was supposed to be isolated, but you guys decided to come in and ruin my day. Like, bro, a girl needs some space.
Of course. And Empress Sisi, what is your plan with this rebellion?
Like I said before, if you were listening, I want to get rid of all foreign influence and ideas.
You mentioned getting rid of people. How did you carry that out?
Well, the Boxer Rebellion wasn't peaceful, but the blood isn't on my hands, so that's fine. It was on the Boxers. Anyways, it was essential to get rid of the Europeans this way because they kept trying to force their influences and their religion on us, like Christianity. And we do not like Christianity. We like our philosophy, Confucianism. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Empress Sisi. Back to you.
To wrap that interview up, we can see that China right now is a bundle of blame and poor excuses.
Back in Western Europe, France is experiencing a revolution just like America, but the French Revolution is more focused on who should rule at home, while the American Revolution was about liberation from home. Jenna, my twin, is in the thick of the French drama to bring us the news of the day. Hello. With me today we have I'm sorry, what's your name?
Maximilien Robespierre. Can you not pronounce that? Stupid English.
So, the French Revolution started with the storm of the Bastille and the capture of the King and Queen. What comes next, Maximus?
My name is Maximilien. Say my name wrong one more time and you go to guillotine.
You're so silly. Anyways, what about the revolution? What's next?
People are calling it the Reign of Terror, but there's nothing terrifying about it. I'm a fair guy. The next steps include taking my political rivals to the guillotine.
The guillotine?
Oui.
Ah! Oh. Can you explain what that is?
It's a machine I use to take off the head of my political rivals. Very efficient.
Was that a screenwriter? Never mind. Merci for the interview. Back to you.
Well, it looks like we've got plenty of political turmoil over in France. Always a joy to look forward to.
Back in the Americas, this time the Latin one, we have another revolution.
This one is headed by Simon Bolivar, a Creole who is fighting for the rights for his class. We have a special guest analyzing Simon Bolivar's famous letter.
Fellow BFN member Ari Permipop can evaluate this for us.
Simon Bolivar's ideas on the liberation of South America from Spain are outlined in the Jamaica letter. This letter states the chains have been broken and we have been freed. We heard from Bolivar himself about plans for a Grand Colombia, the unification of states in his region, like in the Americas, but this might not work as intended due to regionalism. I think it's safe to say that regionalism is the opposite of Bolivar's hopes and dreams and has swept the rug from under his feet. Back to you, Jenna and Hannah.
Thank you, Ari. That wraps up our segment in France.
South Africa has seen many European settlers rise to power, which has almost never changed. However, the new name to fame is the British, who are the new global and naval superpower.
This resulted in the Boer Wars, which was between the native Zulu and Dutch, who were coming onto Zulu land as they were forced on the Great Trek. Other results of the British occupation was the Xhosa cattle killing, which was performed by natives in a hope that the British would leave.
This clearly didn't work, especially since we see Cecil Rhodes rising to power in an area flush with diamonds. Speaking of Cecil Rhodes, he's today's sponsor.
Looking for some bling and sparkle? Cecile Rhodes diamonds, handcrafted in South Africa, will undoubtedly put a spring in your step. At the expense of coerced labor, these jewels are priceless in both cost and quality. Even Empress Sisi of China agrees. This product was created using victimized natives. Many lives were lost and thousands of families and cities were destroyed to provide it. Please use it thoughtfully and with complete awareness of your disgusting wealth and fortune in relation to others of this world. Keep this in mind for every purchase. Hi world, I'm Shannon Banks here with BFN News and your comparison segment of the week. Starting off, we have the Americas and Europe, with a main similarity being that they both shared Enlightenment-based revolutions. Some examples of this being the American Declaration of Independence and the French Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen, both inspired by John Locke, an Enlightenment thinker. Some main differences included that Europe was focused on reforms within the state, such as the creation of the National Assembly from the General Estates due to unfair representation, and in the Americas it was more focused on freedom from a foreign country, namely Britain, due to acts such as the Tea Act and the Stamp Act. Our next segment is the Americas and East Asia, with a main similarity being the industrialization. Some prime examples of this being the Meiji Restoration in Japan and the self-strengthening Reformation in China, as well as general industrialization across the US, which is seen in the creation of new technologies such as the locomotive. And some main differences include immigration versus emigration, with the American economy increasing, with Irish, Chinese, Italian, Spanish, and Lebanese immigrants coming to help with projects such as the Transcontinental Railroad and others, while internal issues and poverty caused Chinese and Japanese immigrants to find labor in the US and Caribbean, as well as sugar plantations in the Pacific. That's it for today, and back to you.
That's it today for BFN. Check in next week for our coverage of the 1900s. Otherwise, we're gonna have to.
I'm mentally going insane, people. I can't do this anymore.
Screaming. You need like.
Interrogation.
I got it. Yeah.
Yay!
Simone's Bolivar's ideas.